what was the thing that you came back to that kept you centered on the like willingness to keep learning and the willingness to keep exploring deeper parts of yourself? Because you could have done that work and just become a teacher, right? And not live the teachings.
If I had to guess right now, I'd say probably the fact that I felt so seen. I was starting to feel like seen and known for the first time in my life because I had a mask and I had lots of friends in my 20s, but felt completely alone, like no one knew me because I wasn't willing to open up. It would turn out later that I would reflect on that and go, oh, it was because I was closed off. It wasn't because no one had the skills. And I certainly hung around people who didn't have the skills, but feeling seen felt like oxygen to me. And so once I started to get a taste of what it was like to feel known by another person, and I'm talking classmates, teachers, fellow meditators in my meditation community, guys in my men's group. Once I started to get a taste of that, and then eventually Ellen, my wife, I'll never forget when we had I think it was our third date, I completely opened up to her. And our fourth date, I think it was, I wanted to run. I was like, it was because I felt like I opened up, and I'd never done that with anyone in my life. And I wanted to shut that door and just go away. And I wanted her to go away. And I was super angry at her. I was like blaming her in my head. And so I think that was one of the close calls that I made. And I remember saying to myself, you're not going to run. You've done that. You've done that too much for too long. No more running. And like had to walk myself off the cliff, because I did want to. I wanted to feel known, man. I wanted to feel seen and understood inside.
When you did the leap to stay, did you explain to her that you wanted to run?
Later, shortly thereafter, because she was like, what the hell? We had this amazing date, and you just fucking disappeared. I like stopped returning her texts and shit, and or emails or whatever it was back then, and
hieroglyphics.
And she was right. Pictographs. She was obviously hurt and upset, and but I came back. That was big for me.
Yeah, I joke about because man, what was relationships like before texting? Right, you called each other. That was it. And like it's just so wild.
You'd call each other and say, "I'll meet you at the coffee shop."
God forbid.
In person. What about you? Was there a time when you were like, what kept you? What was your rudder that kept you in the game?
You put language to what part of it was, which was like witnessing myself and being witnessed, or feeling like here I was hanging out with people that were curious about similar things that my soul had craved, but I didn't know I needed. And so like hanging out with other people interested in self-inquiry and then self-betterment, but also like wanting to improve their relationships. And that's why I remember reflecting much like very early in my journey of wanting to be better at relationships, this recognition that not everybody wants better relationships. Right. Like not everybody wants happiness.
Right.
Not everyone, I think on a deep level, there's a desire for relating better and for more connectedness, but not everyone's willing to do that. And when you let go of the projection that everyone wants what we want, it's so liberating because then you're not trying to change everyone. Like I know people who are completely content going to the game, Monday, Tuesday, watching this, doing that, and not going to their job 9 to 5. And at least from an external lens, they seem like they're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
My life's good. I don't want more. Awesome. But I wanted so much more.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to clean up my shit. And for me, it was when I discovered the peace that came with alignment. And when I say alignment, like my choices aligning with my true values and not the strategic self, but the real self.
Yeah.
And when I discovered and touched on like, what is the life I truly want to create and what really matters to me, then I felt immense pain when I did things that didn't matter to me. Or I did things that violated what mattered to me.
Yeah.
Where the accountability really came was when I started to write about it and teach about it. I was like, I know I can't unless I am.
Mm.
And that actually, because the purpose work became so important to me, I found something that mattered to me so much that it mattered to me more than my wounding.